Hey guys, Darren here. Before you start watching the video, consider hitting that like and subscribe button because that really helps us and goes a long way in combating the YouTube zombies. Enjoy the video. Okay guys, now we're back. I made a couple of flubs talking, but you know what, we're just going to continue to go with it because it just doesn't matter. And I want you guys, this is legitimate stuff. Field corn. This is field corn. Nowadays this is used for animals, for fodder food. This has been eaten by a whole lot of us poor folks for hundreds of years. It's called dent corn because when it dries and dehydrates, there's a slight dent on either side of the corn kernel. Doesn't mean anything other than identify it as a dent corn. People, again, consider this animal feed. I have eaten a whole lot of field corn, and all the stuff I posted about grits, I have a method to my madness. All the stuff I posted about grits, this is what most of your grit come from. If you are down here in central Alabama, near Tannehill State Park, across the road from Tannehill State Park, there is a feed store, Thrasher Feed and Grain. When they have trade days and they make the cornmeal and the grits, this is what they use. So you're eating dent corn. And it's, I know this because I know everybody involved in the process of doing it, and they don't care. You know, this is good. I've eaten this stuff for years. This is how grits are made. The mommy and the daddy grit come together and they love each other so much that they make a little baby grit. Oh. Anyway, but this stuff is really good. Now, the plus side to this, just like storing dried beans, you can take these guys and you can plant them and they will grow. Now, bear in mind that you are going to have a loss in germination if they have been stored for an extended amount of time, regardless of how they're stored. But you're still going to get corn. So one kernel can produce 7 ears in theory, you know. So this is a good way to do it. So I always have a way to do it. And a lot of people, we talk about storing wheat berries because you can grind wheat berries up to make flour, and then from the flour you can make bread. That is true. Absolutely, it works great. And I've done it, you know, quite a few times. Here in the deep south, here in Alabama, we don't have wheat. We got corn all day long. Now, so I can take this, I can use this to make grits. I can use this, I can refine the cornmeal a little bit further to make a corn flour. A lot of people don't know about that. And then I can go further than that and use it. Corn flour goes for tortillas and in some instances polenta. Which if you ain't et polenta, you ain't been eating. It's good stuff. You can also use this, mix it with some wood ash, hardwoods, or lye, and you can make hominy. All of which is fantastic and really good. You can also plant it. You can rehydrate it and eat it as it is, or you can make liquor with it. So corn to me is a wonderful way to store and prepare. Again, if I lived in an area where I could store wheat and grow the wheat from the wheat berries, I would store 1,000 pounds of it, because to me that would work. Or if I lived down like in the wetlands down in Louisiana or in certain parts of Mississippi, and I had some long grain rice, I would store a whole lot of unrefined long grain rice, so I could either refine it and eat it, or I could plant with it. So this is, to me, the best of both worlds. Now, I can plant this, like I said, I can plant this, I can eat it, I can refine it different ways, I can drink it. Okay, talking about corn liquor, I can refine it a little bit beyond drinking consumption-wise, and we can also use it to run a vehicle. We can run a generator. Generator, keep your house cool, can keep medicine cool. Think about like people who need to have medicine, CPAPs, stuff like that. If you're diabetic, a generator can keep your insulin cool. This is all stuff, you know, that I think about. So prepare locally in your area. And if you live up north where there's not a lot of corn being stored or used, put aside 400 or 500 pounds of it and store it down in a cellar or dry basement. But then, you know, if you're in an area where you can grow wheat, by God, store wheat berries. Here we go. Who has cornbread? Who's had it? No. Yeah, you know, it's good stuff. Now, all the nattering and talking aside, I just wanted to show you. I hate to really tear this open, but this is you know, this is a good way. So, hang on, let's see. And if you were close to the radio, you heard it. There we go. So this is the corn. I'm just going to vacuum seal it right back. Oxygen absorber. And hard kernels of corn. Now, kicking the butt in. When you get this stuff from the feed store, or from anywhere, from Walmart or any place, take your bag. I buy it in 50-pound bags. Take your bag, put it in the freezer. You really need a deep freeze for this because it really helps. Put it in the deep freezer for a week. 7 days. You let this thing chill down to 0 degrees, and that will kill any pests or weevils or mites that are in it. And I know a lot of people are saying, oh my God, that doesn't happen. If you buy a bag of flour from the grocery store and you don't use it in a certain amount of time, you will have weevils in it. Not because they came inside into your house. Weevils here, where's your flour? No. They're in the flour. The way it is. And freeze it. Years ago, my grandmother, Momo, would make biscuits out of her old Hoosier cabinet. Had the flour sifter built into it and flour bin and everything. And I was talking with Granddaddy, my grandfather, one morning, and he said, baby boy, look at all these damn weevils in this flour. I said, you gonna throw it away, Granddaddy? He said, no, boy, we ain't gonna throw nothing away. He said, she can make biscuits out of it. We can feed them to the chickens. He said, we're gonna just eat them ourselves. He said, that's more meat in the biscuit. And it was. So, that was down in Childersburg, Alabama. But in a nutshell, when you're doing this, when you're preparing like this, plan and prepare regionally, because It will help you out a lot. I could plan and prepare for something, and then we can store up a lot of food that grows only in, I don't know, Madagascar. You know, I'm thinking of a really isolated, exotic area. Well, when it's time to grow, it's going to be really hard to generate, you know, from that. Think about this. People are going to say, well, I wouldn't eat that crap. Don't come knocking on my door. Because you come knocking on my door, this is what you're going to eat while you're working for me. Take care of you people.